CTE is for all students. This is Marcy Johnson, CTE and Innovation Director at the Illinois State Board of Education. Hello, hola, bonjour, guten tag, aloha. Muchas gracias for joining this presentation. Today I will be presenting to you about career and technical education. I am sure you're aware of this, but in case you are not, English learners are defined in the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965, and all federal grants follow the same definition. Before we get started, I want to take a few minutes for you to think about what do you know about CTE. I will be going over a lot of information today, and if we were in person, I would ask you questions to see how much you are aware of CTE. Here are some questions for you to think about. Take a minute and write down your answers to the following questions. I hope to be able to answer these and more as we go through the presentation today. Did you know that CTE refers to career and technical education? Who funds CTE and how do districts get access to the funds? What is a program of study? What are components of career and technical education? Do you know what the benefits and opportunities that CTE offers? Do you know it is for all students? Do you know how to access CTE programs for students? I am curious as to what your thoughts were when I asked you, what is CTE? Many people are not sure what it is. Some refer to it as vocational education, which is the old term. The federal legislation defines CTE for us. CTE refers to rigorous and relevant career and technical education, or CTE, programs that are designed to focus on the technical skills and knowledge necessary to prepare students for a wide range of high-wage, high-skill, in-demand careers. You will also hear us talk about CTE concentrators, which is a student who takes 2 or more CTE courses. We identify in our course catalogs courses that are for career and technical education. There are over 107 different programs in the state. I will talk more about data and our programs of study later in this presentation. Here is a video I would like to share with you from Advanced CTE. CTE is not a top secret topic. It is something that we want to share and ask people, have you heard about it? It has an academic foundation. It has technical skills, hands-on experiences for students. It is a high school experience, but experience is also more. It gives that bridge to career. CTE learners say their parents are very satisfied when their students are in real-world skills as part of their education. 75% of the CTE learners enroll in post-secondary education after high school. College and career success is what it's about. 10% higher high school graduation rate for CTE students than non-CTE students. 89% of parents think students should receive more education about their career choices in high school. They need to experiment with career choices, that they're not paying for college and experiencing. It should happen in high school. Whether a career is the right fit, don't you think? CTE should be connected to business and industry. It gives them skilled employees. Students send their resumes, but it costs company a lot of money and productivity if they don't have experienced students. 6 of the 10 hardest to fill positions are in technical fields or require a CTE background. Half of the CTE learners enroll in programs such as healthcare, STEM, and information technology. CTE connects to learners with employees through a variety of ways, through internships, apprenticeships, and on-the-job experiences. Parents are satisfied. Students are satisfied. But the bottom line is, when it comes to CTE and careers, it's finding what you're passionate about. This is throughout the nation. It's worldwide. Check out this video and learn more about what works for America. Career and technical education is regulated by both federal legislation and our state rules. The federal legislation is called Strengthening Career and Technical Education for the 21st Century Act, or as referred to, Perkins V. Perkins V was reauthorized from Perkins IV on July 31st, 2018. It's hard to believe it's been that long. All states were given a year to make a transition to the Perkins V, which officially began on July 1st, 2019. Each state had to write a state plan as to how the states will implement the legislation. Our state plan is located at www.isb.net/PerkinsV in case you would like to look at it. Also, we have state rules that guide career and technical education. They are located in Part 256 of our rules. We revised the rules this year to update them to be more aligned to Perkins V and to make them more current. They had not been revised since 1998, so as you can see, it was time to do something. There are so many opportunities in career and technical education. I am really excited for the opportunities that students will get now with Perkins V. With the new Perkins V legislation, there is more of an alignment between education and the workforce systems. The districts are more accountable for career and technical education than they were in the past. Equitable outcomes is a focus, and we look at equity to ensure that all students get access to CTE. We do have more flexibility as well in offering these programs. The most critical piece is engaging stakeholder in career and technical education. CTE should not be a silo. The schools should connect core academics to CTE, as well as connecting to communities and business and industry. I keep referring to special populations. This is required in the Perkins legislation. Districts are to provide support to these students to ensure that they are getting access to CTE programs. Each year, districts will be required to post the data from their programs and to disaggregate their data by these populations. As you can see, when we say special populations, we do not mean special education. We have individuals with disabilities. We have individuals preparing for non-traditional fields. But as you can see, English learners is one of those members of populations. Our CTE system is a regional approach. On this slide is the link to the directory of the system. The CTE system are overseen by 53 Education for Employment directors. As you can see from this map, they are all over the state. They receive funding and then distribute the funds to the school districts. Each CTE system has a board of control, which is representative of the school districts in their region. Each district should be aware of who their director is and get support from them. If you need assistance with this, please do not hesitate to reach out. The funding we receive for career and technical education comes from federal and state. This is how it is broken out. We have formula grants, we have competitive grants, as well as incentive grants. We give funds to the Department of Juvenile Justice and the Department of Human Services. Illinois Community College Board receives funds for post-secondary career and technical education. We have funds for leadership and administration. In the state, all of our funds either go to formula or we have additional funds that we are funding education career pathway grants, and this past year we did a career exploration grant. We also have funds in our leadership activities to support members of special populations. In the leadership funds, we are to set aside 10% of our funds. 8% we will use for state activities. 2% of those funds go to the Department of Juvenile Justice and the Department of Human Services. This year, a new project called CTE Professional Learning Project was awarded to the NIU P20 network, where there will be professional development opportunities, support for non-traditional occupations and special populations, and development of curricular resources. The other project is CTE Evaluation. Measurement Incorporated is doing the evaluation. Our report will be done by June 30th, 2022. It is to take a closer look at what we are doing for career and technical education in the state, as well as EFE system and the area career centers. Since ISB does receive Perkins V funding, we're required to monitor districts on the administration of the Title IX civil rights law. Based on a risk assessment, we look at specific districts. We look at facilities, but also at non-discrimination policies. There is a self-assessment tool that districts can use to see if they are in compliance. Here is the link to our website. If you're interested in learning more about the civil rights and the methods of administration, you can either click on this link or you can go straight to isb.net, click on the green tile that says College and Career, and then you will see a new page and you can click on Civil Rights Review for Secondary Education. I want to talk a little bit about data. We collect data on the students who do participate in career and technical education. In fiscal year 2021, we have 259,689 CTE students who took at least one course. There are 56% males and 43.8% females who are participating in the career and technical education. From this slide, you can see the demographic breakdown of our CTE students. There are 56,507 students who are Hispanic or Latino, which means 21.76% of that 259,689 students are CTE students. Here are a few of our data points for English learners. We are required by the U.S. Department of Ed to also post our data publicly. We have to disaggregate our data, not just by all students, by the special populations as well. Here is a few of the measurements that we have from fiscal year 2020. On here is the post-program placement. That is where students are 6 months after they graduate from high school. Our target number is 62.60 as identified by this green bar. Then when we look at the English learners, only 39.74 of them are identified in our post-program placement. When we look at math, 34.7% are proficient in math. We're at 3.04% for English learners. And then when we look at the 4-year graduation rate, 95.2% was our target level. 90.51% of English learners graduated, which is putting us within our 90% of our range for us to be in compliance. For those of you who do not know what I meant when I said non-traditional programs earlier, it means occupations or fields of work such as careers in computer science, technology, and other current and emerging high-skill occupations for which individuals from one gender comprise less than 25% of the individuals employed in each occupation or field of work. When I refer to work-based learning, it's defined as sustained interactions with industry or community professionals in a real workplace setting, to the extent practicable, or simulated environments at an educational institution. Work-based learning provides students with the opportunity to engage and interact with industry experts while learning to demonstrate essential employability and technical skills necessary for today's workplace. Now I want to talk a little bit about programs of study. Our work is focused on what we can offer students in the district. Our funds support implementing programs of study in the school districts. A program of study requires curricular alignment between secondary and post-secondary institutions. A program of study is a coordinated, non-duplicative sequence of academic or technical skills at the secondary and post-secondary level. A true program of study has these components on this slide: that they're coordinated sequence with academic and technical skills, they have the state academic standards, that they will have knowledge and skills, including the employability skills. It's important and critical that they identify the industry needs, that they progress multiple entry and exit points. This means that they can graduate from high school, go to a job, and come back and take more courses, like to get an associate's degree. They can leave and go out and maybe go to the military, come back, and then go to get their bachelor's. There's a variety of opportunities for them to come in and out and not have to repeat everything again. And of course leads to a recognized post-secondary credential, which does not necessarily mean an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree, but it also means those industry credentials that will get them a job showing the skills that they have achieved. Districts are required to do a program quality review to determine if their programs are of quality and meet the definition of size, scope, and quality. One of the quality components is recruitment and access to ensure access is equitable and all students are able to receive support and succeed in CTE courses. We have been revising our programs of study to have models for districts to look at to have quality programs. Here is an example of our program of study model that we created for machining. As you can see here, we have English, Math, Science, and Social Studies all the way down to the 7th grade, but where we recommend courses possibly to take. We also have sample occupations if they wanted to get a credential, an associate's degree, or a bachelor's degree. And then there are also additional learning opportunities that include career and technical student organizations, which are offered in connection to programs offered to provide them with the opportunity to hone their skill and have leadership opportunities. If you want to learn more about our programs of study, you can go to this link here, and it will show you all the different models that we have for all the different career areas. This is our program of study models that we created this year in cybersecurity, education, machining, and nursing. These were identified because they were one of the most high need, in-demand jobs that we have, that we thought students should be able to see quality programs. Our programs are narrowed down to 7 endorsement areas in our state. As you can see, Family and Consumer Science is not listed. However, the courses are still available and they fall in the different areas such as Human and Public Service, Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources. It is easier to break these down into cluster areas, as you will see in a few minutes how it is all designed. Nationally, there are 16 career clusters. In Illinois, we have 17 career clusters. I won't read them all to you, but as you can see, it's a wide range of cluster areas where many occupations fall. One that we added was energy. We felt that energy was an up-and-coming, in-demand occupation in Illinois. All of these occupations and clusters are aligned to high skill, high wage, in demand throughout the state. I know this is very hard to see, and in a minute I will show you a few closer, but I want you to see the programs of study we have identified. And if you get this slide deck, please check it out and look at some of these opportunities that they have. Here's some examples that I've taken from the previous slide for you to look at a little closer. The first one is transportation and distribution. You can see a lot of occupations in here, and sometimes students do not understand all the opportunities. When they think of transportation and distribution, many times all they think about is over-the-road truck driver. But there are a lot of other opportunities within this area, which is a lot of times called TDL. Another one we have is agriculture, food, and natural resources. As you can see here, there's a lot of areas. That biotechnology system is really up and coming, but there's a lot of areas just within this one. Human and public services. Look at these. You get your child care provider, but then you also have cosmetology, barbering. This one has a variety of different areas just along inside the human services area. Hospitality and tourism. This one looks at anywhere from travel to cooking and culinary arts to park and recreations. Education and training. Of course, we have education both in general and in early childhood education, as well as in training. We eliminated some programs of study that were previously offered because we need to align to high skill, high wage, and in demand. Take some time to think about the programs in these slides, and does your district offer them? And how can we provide more resources? Therefore, every 2 years, districts are required to do a local needs assessment in order to receive career and technical education funds. This is the year for the districts to complete their needs assessment. When they are doing the needs assessment, special populations are a focus to determine how they are being served and where the gaps are. During the completion of the needs assessment, there is to be communication with stakeholders and community colleges. On this slide, these are the steps that must occur when completing the local needs assessment. Once each district does their needs assessment, it will roll up to the EFE's needs assessment, which is regional, and then it is submitted to ISB with their application in order for them to receive funding. For accountability purposes, these are for districts to determine if their students are college and career ready. There are two parts to being college and career ready. They are meeting number 1 and number 2, which is the GPA and the 95% attendance in high school, junior and senior year. And then they have the third, which is college and career pathway endorsements, which I'll explain in a minute. Or the following, which is the academic indicator, identifying a career area of interest, and the 3 career readiness indicators, which are listed over here. This is where they could get an industry credential. They could take the military service or an ASVAB. They could take dual credit. Even employment is included in this for them to get to be considered career ready. A career pathway endorsement has many components, as you can see listed here on the slide. They need an individualized plan. They should have focused courses over 2 years, and then either a minimum of 2-year career exploration or 1 intensive career exploration experience. a minimum of 2 team-based challenges, and at least 60 cumulative hours of participation in a supervised career development experience. And then also demonstrate readiness in math and English language arts. Here is the link to more information about the college and career pathway. Districts must be able to be eligible to offer these endorsements. If you are familiar with the seal of biliteracy, we followed the same process in order to offer college and career pathway endorsements. This grant is a 3-year competitive grant funded by the state CTE budget line. There are 2 cohorts funded in the amount of $3,544,147. EFEs and community colleges were awarded the grant to fund the districts who were 70% adequacy or below and or a rural school. The purpose of this grant is to help increase the diversity of teaching profession in Illinois and to recruit students into the different education fields earlier. As you can see from this map, it is located across the state. This past year, the cohorts have been in their planning year of the grant. In fiscal year 22, they will begin their implementation year, and ISB will begin collecting data. The students engaged in this program will have opportunities to have internships in their districts to receive experience in teaching and have opportunities to earn dual credit, seal of biliteracy, and college and career pathway endorsements in education by the time they graduate from high school. I mentioned earlier career and technical education student organizations, CTSOs, which is offered in connection to the programs offered in their schools for career technical education. These organizations are to provide students with opportunities to hone their skill set and have leadership opportunities. There are 8 that are nationally recognized and 2 that are recognized in Illinois. If you go to this link and click on each emblem, you will learn more about each organization. Not all districts offer them. In many cases, they only offer 2 or 3. It depends on funding, but they are able to offer as many opportunities in career and technical education student organizations as they want. Here are resources for you that can be used with your students, counselors, and educators. The career guide has been done for the past 3 years. This is the one from fiscal year 2021. We will be posting the fiscal year 22 version very soon. On the next slide, I will show you just a little bit about the guide. We offer the guide in the digital version for free, and it will be translated into Spanish, Tagalog, Urdu, Arabic. Districts will be able to purchase hard copies of these guides to share with schools, students, educators, and parents. There is a link in order to find out how to purchase these guides. The other resource on this slide is the super strategies, which I will show in a couple slides. These documents are for all of the special populations on ways to support each of the members of this area. These too are to be shared, as well as webinars that explain each one of the super strategies. Here is the career guide. In the career guide, there are so many opportunities within it, not just on this page where you see where it explains what it is, the jobs that it leads to, the occupations, examples of occupations, what the salary would be, what the degree would require in order to get these jobs. But it also talks about a career exploration piece on how to determine maybe where my interests lie. It talks about how to get industry credentials. It talks about dual credit. It talks about the endorsement areas. There's a lot of areas in this that I encourage you to get in and look at and share with your students. Here's a page from the super strategies. This is information that can be shared, so it helps people think about, well, if I was working with an English learner, for example, what are some of the things I want to keep in mind? For those of you not aware, we do have virtual course programs. Districts receive funds to support paying for virtual courses. We have vetted some providers and the courses that they offer. They are for core areas as well as career and technical education. Some use this platform for credit recovery, others to take courses not provided at the school or can't get it into their schedule. This is good for any student, whether they're a student who is always in school or a homeless student or a migrant student, any area of special populations as well. Here is the link for you to take a closer look at these courses. ISB has partnered with the Illinois Department of Employment Security to develop this platform, Illinois High School to Career. This tool is good for many purposes. One, to help a student develop their individual learning career plan. Another would be for career exploration. It shows what colleges will offer. Here's a few slides from that website. One area is if they go in and they say they just don't know what they want to study, it pops up and you can look at the different areas of study. You can mouse over it and it will tell you more information, and it'll show you about the different careers in each of these areas as well. It also will show all the different careers that are available, what the earnings are in Illinois, what the job stability is, and what the earning growth is. This is great for career exploration for students, whether they're developing that individualized learning plan or whether they're just trying to figure out what is it that I want to do. Also, when you click on some of these other links, it will pop up. One might explain what construction is and how they can be engaged. Another talks about the different occupations in construction. The important thing is we want students to know the opportunities that are out there for them and that they don't just see like health science as only for a doctor or a nurse. There are a lot of opportunities in a lot of areas. So as in construction, as you can see, under construction, you could be a plumber or you could be a welder or you could be an inspector. So let's broaden that horizon for students and get them excited about going into a career. We also have a website for Student Voices. This webpage is developed by our Students Advisory Council as a place for students to go to find resources and learn more. The Student Advisory Council focuses on different topics each year and then reports their findings back to the state board. Here is the link to this website. Go to it. You will learn more about all the new students that are on the Student Advisory Council. Also, there is a link on here for exploring more. You can look at support that you may need help with. It helps you with planning for your future. If you need help with the FAFSA, which is to graduate from high school, you have to complete a FAFSA. You know, information about work and about requirements you have to have in school. So encourage and share this website with your students. We have a school counselor on our staff. Her name is Heather Taylor. She has a website for resources for school counselors, and she has an advisory council with the school counselors. Feel free to check out this link and share with your school counselors in your schools and districts. We have academic areas, we have college and career area, and she has social emotional areas. There's also a link to the CTE networking directory access on that slide to get access to post-secondary, to directors, to EFEs, to workforce partners, and dual credit coordinators. Another resource we have is for special populations and also for curriculum we have created. Here is the special population resources that you can link to. Also, here is an example of the career curriculum that we have. For example, manufacturing, engineering, and trade. Here are a few of the lessons that teachers could use to support them in their class. We also have one here that has a PowerPoint and an e-unit and a lesson plan. So we have a variety of different resources on our page depending on the area that you want. So encourage your teachers or you to get on here and look at different resources that we have. On this page is the website for our career and technical education. It is at isb.net/CTE. This is a source for you to go to find all the information that I've shared with you today and more. Please go to this website for more information and do not hesitate to reach out if you need support. On this slide, you will find a list of the staff for CTE and Innovation and our contact information. David Osborne is the Methods of Administration who deals with the civil rights. We have Heather Taylor who works with school counselors. Karen Lockhart who does the financial and business services as well as work-based learning. Andrew Klein who works with all things related to agriculture. Christina Valentine, Human and Public Services as well as CTE licensure. Seth Brazio, Manufacturing, Engineering, Technology, and Trades. Sheila Rowe assists with the methods of administration. She helps with monitoring and with the agriculture. And Shaista Said, who is health science and technology. Please do not hesitate to reach out to them if there's additional information that you need to support you in the work that you are doing. Also, Heather and David are also a valuable resource for anything related to the special populations and career and technical education. I wish I had opportunities for you to ask questions. I wish I could have shared more with you, but of course this is a PowerPoint that's recorded and I'm not able to go into the different links through this PowerPoint recording. But please do not hesitate to reach out to me or my staff if you want additional information on what I've shared with you today. Thank you for all you do, and I hope this presentation has been helpful to learn more about career and technical education. Have a great rest of the conference and the day.